then teaching, and log in on 2 different computers. That way I can kind of see what I'm doing as well as teach. Oh yeah, and happy Teacher Appreciation Week. Woohoo. So I'm showing you how to use Canva. So if you haven't ever used it before, you might kind of look here. I'll put it in the chat, the link. And that's the link to Canva. All right. So Canva is it's kind of a designing tool. I saw it first a few years ago, and it's sort of they've really improved it a lot since I first started working. When you log in, or the first time you log in with Google, and make sure you tell them that you're a teacher, because there's a lot more free icons, tools, resources, that's the word I'm looking for teachers and for education. There's a little bit of free stuff for normal people, but we're special. So, and so yeah, log in with Google, and then you can use Canva to create PDFs that you can then download and then upload into Cami. And so they store their designs. So you can see that I created a quiz using Canva, and then kind of cutting and pasting some icons or images and questions from the textbook. I created a note-taking guide for the students. And then they also have some designs that are already created. So like this task map task card is one that was already there. So let me know if you need me to slow down, or if you have any questions or comments or whatever. You can also link your class to it, but I don't use this. I haven't had the time to figure it out, but I just thought that was interesting. So in the Canva home, you would go to create a design to create a new one. And then there's a ton of suggestions. So you can do posters, infographics. You could post something onto Instagram, book covers, flyers, brochures, graphs. Going on down, you can even create a banner for Google Classroom. So Google Classroom header. So you could even design a lovely little header for Google Classroom. I'm usually using the worksheet. So, or you can also do custom size, but the worksheet is already 8.5 by 11. And then it'll bring you to the kind of canvas where you're going to do your work. So this is in I can't remember what it's called right now, regular format, but say you want it in landscape, you could come up here to resize and change this to the 11 and then put 8.5 here. And then it will flip, it'll flip the paper. So now it's landscape. They have a bunch of templates that you can look at. This little arrow right here kind of hides the menu, all the icons over here. So if you want, there's templates. So
excuse me, Anne,
yes.
I think maybe you're on a new window that we're not seeing the templates or the portrait landscape.
Thank
Awesome.
you. All right. So when I typed in that I wanted a worksheet, it opened up this page, and then up here at the top that you can resize it. I resized it, my page because it was 8.5 by 11, and I just changed it to 11 by 8.5 so that I could get it to be landscape. For this worksheet, I wanted landscape. And so you can choose backgrounds, and a bunch of backgrounds pop up. I like to use paper a lot. This one, it's weird. It's all looks like it's all been crumbled up. This one has lines, but I don't want it to be yellow. I can come up here to the color and change it so that it's just white. If I want, or as I was saying where you guys didn't see, you can come up to templates and say you were looking for a math worksheet. There's a ton of already things that are already created. So you could use one of these ones that are already created and then just make it your own. So I was teaching, if in the beginning of the year I was teaching slope, this would have been awesome if I knew this existed at that time. And then, so that's, I think, a pretty cool tool that they have. But for this, I want to create my own. So I'm going to go back to, oh yeah, you can do the back button. To delete, there's a little trash can up here in the right-hand corner, and it will delete whatever you don't want.
Hey, Anne, I have a question.
Yes.
Do you have to have the premium for all those worksheets to pop up?
No. So when you log in, make sure that you say you're a teacher, because when you log in as a teacher, you get a lot more free stuff. Oops. So when you're logging in, I'm going to sign out. Log in with Google, and then when you're filling everything up, so log in with Google. You guys can see that. And now it's going to be slow. And then it'll ask you somewhere, and I don't remember where, but it's going to ask you, why are you trying to use Canva? What do you need to use it for? And tell them you're a teacher, and then you're going to get a bunch of K-12 fun stuff. So I want to delete this whole page. So I want to get the blue. So you can see the blue that's outlined. That means my whole page has been selected. So I'm going to delete all of that. And that took away that background.
I just found it under the settings. You can say I am a teacher. Thank you.
Yes. Okay. So see how it's got the blue around the back here? I want to delete anything with the blue. Means that it's highlighted. So you can add more than one page. So I wanted to go back to my line background, and I wanted it to be white. You can then let's say I wanted to put in a spot for their to write their name. So they have these, you can use all of these and you can edit and change them if you want. They're kind of cool, or you can just click on the heading that you want. There's different sizes, but it doesn't really matter because once you have it clicked, you can change the size you want. You can change the font that you want. And then change the text. So name in there. I'm going to get rid of that one. I don't need it. Then they have, you can add pictures. Oh, and I know what I was going to, so say I wanted to search up angles. This little slider bar right here, means you can kind of say, I want to see only free things, and I want to see only things that are with education. And if you wanted to choose the color, you could. And then apply filters. And all of these happen to be free. If you hover over the picture, the EDU will also tell you that it's for education. If you ever see a crown, the crown are the things that aren't paid. They are the premium versions. So I'm going to put this picture into my worksheet. Much like with anything on Google, the corners here can resize it. You can double click on it, and you'll get where if you want to crop the picture, or this just moves it up and down. There is a way to crop it too with the crop tool. So then you could crop the picture and make it shorter. And so my text, I'm going to say directions. Find the angles. Making sure I didn't write angels. This little crossbar right here, you move it around. Once I get what I want to be grouped together, right now I hold down Shift and I hold down, now everything is blue, and I can come up to, I think it's in the 3 dots. Yeah, in the 3 dots, you can group the image. So now if I wherever I move this on the page, it'll be together. And there's so much that you can just sort of play around with and experiment. In the elements, they have shapes, frames, lines, and so much more. I wanted to show frames because frames took me a little bit to understand. So the frames are like these pictured things. And so if you pop that in, and then you go and get a picture, kind of hold that over the frame, the picture goes into the frame. So now the frame and the picture are automatically grouped together. And you can kind of adjust it a little bit where if you want a certain part. There are so many frames. Some frames work better with certain pictures. You can't really adjust the frame, but it's kind of a cool little feature that they have. You can put audio in, video. You can save your designs, your likes. If you bought anything, you know, a file over here. So then once, is there any questions right here before I go on?
I have a quick one. With the audio, does it allow you to record your own audio, or is it just like music files and things of that sort?
That's a good question.
I can always look into it, but
I actually haven't tried it, but it looks like it's music.
okay, cool.
Yeah. And then video, you can, and I know there's a way that you can put like embed, I think you can embed YouTube videos. I think I saw that. So then what I do once I have my fabulous worksheet saved, I come up to, oh, and another thing down here, because this is kind of small, if you want to see what it looks like at regular, there's a slider down here, and you can make it say 100 and kind of see what it looks like at regular, what it would look like for the kids. So now the next I do is I come up to the right hand corner to where it says download, and file type, you want to change it to PDF standard. And I only want to do page 2. You could do all the pages, you could do 1 page. I'm just going to do page 2. So say done, and then it'll download. And so it's converting the file right now. Okay, so it has been downloaded. Now I'm going to open up Cami. So I'm opening up Cami from the app icon that's in my up in my little thingy or my puzzle piece. And I'm going to get the document that I just downloaded from my computer. And now the worksheet that I made is in Cami, so the students can work on this as they would any other PDF in Cami and type their name. And they can't move around these images. Where I've found a lot with Cami, when I like Cami a lot, but when I paste stuff in, the kids, it kind of shows up with that little line and the X. So this is more like just a worksheet that the students can work on.
The images show up so nicely in Cami.
Yeah,
Looks really great.
it does. And so here I'll show you, go back to Cami. And I've only been working on using this for a couple of weeks now. So I'm not a pro, but I thought that it was worth sharing with other teachers. because I've been paying for a lot of stuff with Teachers Pay Teachers. And so I'm like, well, I could do that. And yeah. All right. So where am I? I'm right here. We go to, let's see. So I was playing around with this earlier today, and seeing if I could do like a color by numbers activity. So the worksheet, the little chart table right here, I just screenshot from the textbook. And then there was actually some writing right here, and I wanted to cover it up, so I just made a little box and covered it up with white. So then that kind of goes. What I found also is if you click on it and then just use the up and down arrow on, make sure that you have what you clicked on. Use the up and down arrow to move things. It's a little bit easier than trying to move it with the mouse. And then this image of the candy, I went to Elements and I searched up candy. And I wanted things that were, I wanted it to be white. So I clicked on that. I clicked on the free click. Okay. And so then all these images popped up. So I chose this one. And then what I was going to do is then figure out the answers and put the answers in here and then tell them if it's -3, color it pink. And so it could kind of be a sort of fun little activity. Elements, that's the word. Right. So I hope that was helpful. And you can, if you have questions that come to you later while you're trying to figure it out, you can email me and I will respond.
As well as emailing any of the district technology innovation coaches. I know Anne is busy as a middle school teacher, and it is our job to support you with this. So please reach out to us if you need any help. But thank you so much, Anne, for offering.
Sure. Sure. This is another. So I've been trying to have guided notes for the students, and so this was another one that I threw together from something that was, I used a template that somebody had already, no, actually this one I just sort of put together myself. There are some errors on it that I made because I did it really quickly late at night and I didn't see them until the next day, but I think I fixed it for my second class, but my first class I had just copied. So when I did this, I made the original discounts, and then copied this and pasted it 2 other times. And however, I forgot to edit one of those. So that was another activity that I did with the students. And then again, all of these templates are over here on the side that you can choose from. Social studies, science, lot of it is kind of elementary school. I don't know what. No, I don't want to replace my current page. But anyways, okay. So that is Canva.
Thank you, Anne. I learned some stuff about that teacher account that I didn't know was there before. So that's awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, I think it's pretty new because I remember learning Canva several years ago in one of our tech classes that we had, and I don't think it was there before. And it's pretty easy to use. I mean, you have to play around, and if you have time to play around with it, you'll probably discover even more than what I showed you. You can also do QR codes. That was something that I stuck on one of my worksheets, was a QR code to a website that I wanted the kids to go to. I don't know how, if they could do it, if they'd have to have their phone still.
All right. Any other questions?
All right, then I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording.
Thank you, everyone.